What's going on, guys? It's your pal Scott Newby from Bass Brings Us Together. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for hanging out. So I'm combining a couple video clips together to kind of show you my experience over the last couple days of what I think of the RTJ in ceilings, how the install went, why I installed them the way that I did, where they're at, what's coming up on the channel, what's coming up for demo dates, stuff like that is all going to be discussed in this video. Thanks for checking it out. Thanks for liking, subscribing, all that stuff. 2024 has been a great year, all because of you guys, and we certainly appreciate it. Hoping in 2025 to do even more videos, better quality, better editing, better presentation. Still just kind of doing this as, you know, having a good time hanging out with everybody. So continue growing as a channel, as a community, and I certainly appreciate that. Happy holidays, guys. Hope you enjoy the videos. So this will be 2 videos and a clip, kind of just all kind of mixed in together. So hope you like it. See you guys later. So on the RTJ 110 in walls, which I use as in ceilings, which may possibly go against RTJ policy. So they come with a grill that the screws actually go through the grill. I didn't want to do that. I actually enjoy looking at them. We have a lot of people that come through this room and they like to see the speakers. So I decided to do it without the grill. I think it looks nice. It's also unnoticeable unless you're looking for it. The way that I installed them, because basically these 2 seats, this seat and that seat, that's usually my seat and that's Kat's seat, or if another enthusiast comes over, they sit there. These other 2 seats are kind of off center of the screen. That's why I did the whole room. Back surrounds, the position of the Atmos, like 1 foot behind the heads, 1 foot in front. Super immersive, super impactful. You see all the subs. Everything is calibrated for these 2 seats for the most extreme experience possible. It's strange because now I've had Kat through here and a buddy of mine, and they say at times they felt overwhelmed. And Kat's been through a lot of iterations of this room with me in other theaters, but she's like, sometimes it just feels like there's so much going on and I feel like I'm right in the middle of the action that it actually gives her a little bit of anxiety. So, but that's what I'm going for, which is a silly thing to say, but so as you see, everything's kind of centered with where the 2 heads would be. And that's why I did the Atmos placement like that. Here's a little view from the side. And I just did some small trim just to make like a little design around it, clean it up just a little bit. As you guys know, I do have plans in the future, possibly the very near future, of ripping the whole ceiling out and doing a Baltic birch ceiling. I'm actually, because now the room is completed, I'm going to do a full calibration today, but I'm going to change all the carpet out from this color to more of a all black or super dark gray, because I did that to help with the contrast of the screen. So this carpet's 7 years old, still in fantastic shape. I just want it to be darker, but that means everything in this room has to be moved out. So, you know, with 2018s, bunch of speakers, furniture, yeah, that's going to be a huge pain. So I believe that will be my late next year project. Have people come over, help me move the whole room out, and new carpet, brand new Baltic birch ceiling. And what'll be nice is because then I can pull this off and then the new ceiling will go right up to this. So the Atmos speakers are permanently installed. If you've seen in some of the shorts videos that I did, it might be kind of hard to see here, but you can see. So I pretty much, between the floor joists, built, so the floor joists run like this, put 2x4 supports across, 2x4 supports this way, and built a box, lag screwed it in, with extremely long lags. I actually was able to hang and I weigh 270 pounds, I was literally able to hang off of the Atmos speakers. It gets pretty intense in this room with bass and stuff. I didn't want a speaker falling on my head or anybody else's head. So, yeah, that was kind of the point behind that. As you guys can kind of see, so this is the center of the screen. Those two seats are the best. The theater was purposely designed like that because I got this closet here that has the water meter, gas pipe running through, seepage pump. So yeah, so that's why the theater is built this way, which I went through that in a whole nother video. So all right guys, that's kind of how the install went and why it went that way. Just wanted to share that with you guys. So I'm super happy. Ceiling looks better to me now. Certainly a great improvement over the clip-shin ceilings in every way. So all right guys, thanks a lot. What's going on, guys? It's your pal Scott Newby with Bass Brings Us Together at Living with Scott and Cat podcast. As you see, I'm hanging out down in the theater. I want to take a couple minutes to hang out with you guys, explain my upgraded Dolby Atmos experience. Quick backstory on that. So I've been building this current state of this room for about the last 5 years. As I've slowly made that change over to a complete JTR setup, took quite a few years, a lot of work, obviously, you know, a lot of money, but I knew what I wanted after experiencing a full JTR setup, so I wanted to replicate that in my own home, and I knew it'd be roughly 4, 5, 6 year plan. So fortunate enough that I was able to close this project out by the end of 2024. So just want to share my thoughts of the Atmos upgrade. Now, through the last few years, I've been using the Klipsch in-ceiling 8-inch Pros. So that's been for like the last 7 years. Always thought I had a really good Atmos experience. I mean, hundreds of people came through this room and really enjoyed themselves. So that's kind of why I got left for last. I knew it was a thing that I wanted all the speakers to match, so I would have to do it at some point. It just wasn't at the top of my list. Getting more subwoofers, getting, you know, better and newer left, center, and right, and changing other stuff in the room, and always putting an upgraded Atmos on the back burner. And a few of you guys were, you know, even said, hey, I remember you ordered these a long time ago. What, you know, why did it take so long to get them? Well, I put the deposit down on them, and I always ended up moving that deposit towards subwoofers, or moving the deposit to when they released the 2025 version of the 210s. And I always thought that there was more important things than the Atmos. I knew that it would satisfy my mind knowing that everything matched. I just didn't believe that it was going to be a big upgrade in an experience. So, lo and behold, finally got the room 99% done. The last 1% was changing out the Atmos, and I knew it was going to be a project. And we were kind of at a loss for words after running the first few demos with the new Atmos speakers. Definitely more. It really just drew us in. It matched the other speakers so much better, instead of it being crazy and exciting and then kind of like a faint, you know, overpass or overhead, or it's really convincing. And I'm stumbling on my words a little bit now because I'm still kind of in awe. I just installed them here like 2 days ago or 3 days ago, and how much more life is in the Atmos channel. They got a nice dispersion on them, extreme, you know, high sensitivity, power handling. That was one issue I did have with the Klipsch, was during our more, you know, excited, loud playbacks, as I felt that the Atmos would get kind of lost in the mix. But I didn't listen that way all the time, so it was never a huge pressing issue. These Atmos, the RTJ Atmos, have absolutely no issue at all handling the demands. I mean, they're 750 watt RMS, high sensitivity. They weigh like 33 pounds each. Yeah, that's it's actually comical how much of a difference there is now in the Atmos experience compared to what my brain thought beforehand. It's like, oh yeah, I can just push that off. It isn't going to be that big of a deal. So I'm happy to be proven wrong, because obviously it's an investment of not only money but my time and the mess that I made, and now, you know, full recalibration of this space. So it's wow. I'm happy. I'm very happy. There's so many more movies that I gotta recheck out and watch just because I want that new experience. So I've had one other person come through, and also Kat come through, and Kat's even said that at times it seems extremely just overwhelming in the fact that you literally feel like you're right in the middle of the action, and it like gives her goosebumps, and it really does a great job of tricking your mind to losing your sense of reality. It's a seamless bubble in this space. Now all the speakers match as closely as possible. If I had a little bit bigger space or a little bit different setup, then, you know, to me, having all the speakers identical would be the best case scenario. I did the best job that I could with my space, and so the 5 main speakers all match the dual 10-inch driver. So the 2 10s on the main 5, so it's left, center, right surround, left surround, and then on the back channels is the JTR HT 110s, and then in the ceiling is the RTJ 110s. So every speaker on the bed layer and the Atmos is all 10-inch two-way, so they absolutely match as closely as possible, and you can really tell that in the playback. I can't wait for our next get-together. I think some of my buddies are going to be blown away by the difference. I as soon as this video is over, I'm going to actually start demoing some more stuff. So I had to question a lot, because if you follow us on YouTube or on the Facebook groups, I was sharing some progress pictures of building the supports in the ceiling and stuff like that, and a lot of people are questioning it'd been a lot cheaper to just go with the JTR HT 110s instead of the RTJ in walls. And that's true, it certainly would have been cheaper, but for me and my experiences, the farther away I can get the Atmos speaker, the better my experience has been. Actually, some of the best experiences I've ever had have been going to other theaters where people have 10, 12, or even 14-foot ceilings, and you can hear those Atmos speakers from far away. And so, like, if a plane is flying off in the distance, it actually sounds like it's off in the distance, to where now I still get great overhead, you know, like of a plane flying by, but it doesn't, I know that it's right above my head, that it's not off in the distance. Or if a bird's chirping way off in the distance in a jungle or something, I still get a great effect of knowing that a bird's out there somewhere chirping, but it isn't really far away. So I wanted to keep the speakers as far away as possible, and with the, if I would have went with the HT 110s, you know, I've got just under 8-foot ceiling, you know, RT, you know, the JTR 110s, you know, I don't remember how deep they are, but let's just say, you know, 8, 9, 10 inches deep. Then you have to screw a bracket onto them and then hang them, and then that just even puts them closer to my head. And I didn't want the speakers right on top of my head. I'm going for the absolute best experience in my mind, and I needed to keep the Atmos speakers as far away as possible. Unfortunately, that cost me a little bit more money up front, but the way that my brain works, that if I didn't do it that way, because to me that was the best way possible for me to do it, then it wasn't worth me saving that money. Because if, you know, I keep these speakers for a long time. I mean, my last Klipsch THX Ultra system in this room for, you know, I owned for like 12 years. I used them for 10, 12 years. So if I have something for that length of time, then I'm spending a little bit extra money up front, I'm a little bit more okay with. And I save money by doing the install myself, the calibration myself. So it's a give or take for sure. So, but no, it's completely transformed my space. I'm not going to sit here and say it is an absolute night and day difference. I think I'm sitting in a different room now. Because I don't like talking like that. I think that's a term that gets overused. but I certainly feel that it has enhanced it enough for me to talk about, for one, but also for me to get excited about rewatching some of my favorite movies again. And that seamless Atmos bubble that we all talk about and we strive for, it's certainly very convincing, and it's certainly very extreme, which obviously I built the whole theater about being an extreme Atmos experience. So that's just my thoughts, guys. Going to have more videos dropping about the new sub, about the calibration, about next get-togethers and stuff like that. So thanks for checking it out. Thanks for hanging out. Like always, bass brings us together. Appreciate you guys subscribing, liking, and sharing, and we'll see you soon.